Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing episode 3 of the new Beavis and Butt-Head, coming to you from Paramount Plus. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Yeah, I know I said not going to be returning to Beavis and Butt-Head after the quite mediocre first 2 episodes of the season. But call it a clout chase, call it a giving it a second chance, or just in general say, I want to see if I can be proven wrong. So I returned to the show, episode 3 of it. It's titled Roof/River. And it sees the boys up to their usual stupidity with involving Tom Anderson's roof and also involves tubing on a river, which, by the way, I want to point out how Texan that is. I know people do tubing all over the place, but, Mike Judge is a Texan, and tubing is just a thing down in, like, Central and South Texas. And I was like, okay, cool. I see the Texas roots rolling from there. But either way, what I think about it. So I will say this episode was a step up, maybe a step and a half up from the previous 2 episodes, in the sense that it's a lot more like the old show and a little more consistently funny, but only just so. I think, I've got a criticism about, wanting too much sophistication out of the show. And I'll say this. No, I don't want sophistication out of the show. I would just like premises where the boys are in that don't, go thin real quickly. And that's the problem with, 2 stupid people getting into hijinks, is that if the starting premise isn't, strong enough or doesn't have enough stuff going on in it, then it just is the same joke over and over and over again. And in a way, I sort of found that in this episode, that at least with the river one, not the river one, with the roof one, was that, yes, they go up there and they get stuck on the roof and don't know how to get down. And that's the entirety of the scenario. The joke is that they're too dumb to get down. They're too, they have this idea that they're going to break something and they got to do it from a roof, and then they get stuck on top of it and don't know how to get down. And that's literally how it proceeds. And even when Beavis, nearly kills himself falling, and they're still stuck and they just stay stuck. I mean, how many jokes can you get out of that, I guess, is the question. That actually was the roof one was a very weak part of the episode. River, on the other hand, was a lot more interesting because it wasn't just 2 dummies on trying to find out how they can go tubing because they want to go find these hot chicks who are tubing also. There's that, but there's also all of the kind of obstacles and misadventure they can get into along the way that are funny. That where there's a lot of physical comedy, and they get into various things like getting pulled along by Beavis being wrapped up in fishing line and tumbled out along different obstacles and going over a waterfall, all that stuff. There's plenty. That's what I'm talking about. That scenario that was set up gave many opportunities to tell or show physical comedy going on in there, versus the roof one where it was really just one joke that they kept beating on. And so if the rest of this show is like River, hell yeah. If it's like Roof, I'm like, hell no. The riffing of TV and music videos was fine, I guess. It's, I didn't really laugh too much at it. I get what they're trying to go at, but it's the weakest. To me, the riffing is the weakest part of this show, which is unfortunate because I used to like it quite a bit in the 90s show. So, but anyway, never let it be said that I'm not trying to give this show, a shot. I'm not trying to give it I'm not going into it to hate it. Believe it or not, for those of you who had comments about this, I'm not trying to hate on this. I loved Beavis and Butt-Head back in the day. It was one of my favorite things that I watched, and I want to like this. But I'm not going to lie and say that I think that this is the greatest thing that's ever happened, or even that I think it's all that good. if it's not making me laugh, it can't be that good. And this isn't giving me great laughs, even though the river part of the episode did give me some pretty good, consistent chuckles. And I want more of that. So I'm going to do what I do sometimes with shows that aren't so good. I'm going to give it a 2 episode, probation, which is to say that if by next episode I do not feel like I'm getting anything out of this, then I'm done with the show. And that's that. So we'll see. But what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what I had to say? Get on down to the comments and share your thoughts. And please be reminded that people not liking things that you like isn't a personal attack on you. And also that people having issues with something doesn't make them an idiot or anything like that. I know some people think their opinions are super precious or the most advanced things that's ever happened. And hey, this is art and people have different opinions about it. So it's perfectly fine to not agree about things. So, don't be such a kind of a douche in the comments section. Oh, anyway, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for joining me. Come back next week for the second probationary Beavis and Butt-Head episode. And let's see if they can, really step their game up. I'm really hoping they do. Until then, I have been Mo De Poupée, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.